Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakapradash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations be to the hopeful elect brothers out there, new in this gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. Lord's will to be edifying. This is from the brother GMS dedication. It says the spirit of America is falling. Brother was going into Spirit Airlines, which is a lower class airline that's designed for people that couldn't really afford traditional airfare. But Spirit was really a ripoff, okay? Because it was oftentimes cheaper fares, but you still had hidden fees and baggage and stuff like that you had to pay for. So it equates to about equal or lesser buy over traditional airfare, okay? But nonetheless, Spirit Airlines it's pretty ratchet. It's like the soul plane because, like I said, a lot of people use Spirit when they travel, to go out of town, cheaper vacations and stuff like that. I've rode Spirit maybe twice. I think one time I was going to Vegas and another time I was going down to Kissimmee or Orlando. And we rode it twice. And I mean, it wasn't too bad. But nonetheless, it's a hit or miss because it's a highly used airline by low-income people, okay? Which that shit got shut down, all right? Because America is declining, going back into the government shutdown last year when the government shut down 37 days. And there was a lot of money that the airlines lost because TSA agents wasn't showing up. Those tower agents that kind of control and let you know the clearance of when a plane lands. A lot of them, the aviation crew, they was taking off work because they like, look, we're not finna go to work. You ain't paying us, but yeah, you paying these ICE agents money to go to work and to kick in people's doors. But yet I can't go to work for protecting the airports. I can't get paid for that. People like, hell no, I'm not dealing with it, man. Okay, so what was the purpose of Spirit Airlines? Let's see what ChatGPT tells us. Because it was trash too, man, It says here, Spirit Airlines was founded with a very specific purpose to offer extremely low-cost air travel by stripping flying down to the basics. It says, instead of bundling everything into one ticket price, like traditional airlines, Spirit built its model around ultra-low base fares to attract budget travelers, unbundled pricing where you pay extra for things like bags, seat selection, snacks, and even printing and boarding pass at the airport, high aircraft utilization, meaning planes fly more often each day to maximize efficiency, and dense seating layout to carry more passengers per flight. The core idea was simple, making flying affordable for more people, even if it meant sacrificing comfort and perks. This approach is called the Ultra Low Cost Carrier ULCC model, similar to airlines in Europe and elsewhere. It says it wasn't luxury or accessible through cheap fares, letting customers choose and pay for what they actually need. All right, but nonetheless, that shit is through now. Okay, allegedly, I heard that they was only worth $22 million. Now, I don't know how true that is because I didn't see the facts on that, but I'm pretty sure the source that we got that information from is rather reliable. So it's safe to say that, and that's pretty bad for airlines because how much does airlines generally bring? How much does airlines bring? How much money annually? It should be in the billions. Oh. Global airline, all airlines combined about 1 trillion, okay? 847 billion, 179 billion. So the airline is $1 trillion business because everybody flies. Major airlines, roughly 40 to 55 billion. Mid-size, 5 to 20 billion. Smaller budget, 1 to 5 plus billion. American Airlines made 52 to 53 billion in 2023. So yeah, Spirit, they didn't make the cut. So let's listen to the video here. Fair use, fair use.
Detroit to Dallas, sharing a
super.
You Keishas, you ain't gonna be able to afford travel no more. And this is another thing too. They're pretty much containing the lower class, man. They're controlling everything because they know Jake can't afford traditional airline service. So a lot of you Keishas, man, your spring break, you're going down twerking in Miami, you going overseas. A lot of that shit is over with. All right, if you don't have a car, you ain't going nowhere because hey, ain't nobody finna pay no $1,000 to fly round trip from to Miami, Florida, man. Okay.
I really loved Spirit. They helped me sew my flight a lot.
A lot of confusion and frustration for passengers after Spirit Airlines shut down operations early yesterday morning. But they weren't the only ones feeling the emotions. A crew member of the airline's final flight from Detroit to Dallas sharing a final message before landing.
A lot of crazy stuff has happened, but it's funny as we sit here, I don't remember any of the bad times, just the good ones. So thank you for your support over the years, and onward and upward, right?
Onward and upward. The budget airline ended operations after failing to reach a deal with the Trump administration to keep running. And now thousands of employees are without a job. ABC's Michelle Franzen has the latest.
Hey, Spirit, from us guys at American, good luck to y'all. Sorry to hear what happened.
It was a pleasure working with you guys, and I wish you the best.
In the final moments, a last exchange over the air as Spirit Airlines shuts down after more than 3 decades. Its final flight touching down in Dallas, arriving from Detroit, marking the end of an era. A surge in fuel costs driven by a war in Iran delivering the final blow to an airline already under intense financial pressure. And
Yep, because a lot of airlines are shutting down too. You know, jet fuel prices are out the roof. Can nobody afford it no more? Same thing with the vehicles. Eventually, people ain't gonna be able to afford to drive their vehicles no more because fuel is getting high. Like I said, Missouri gas is $4 here, bro. That's ridiculous, man. Some places still $3.79, but who wants to pay that for trash? But Babylon is shutting down. Okay.
leaving passengers scrambling.
Everyone's trying to find new flights. Ended up getting something that costs entirely too much because everyone's booking at the same time. Got layovers, overcrowding every airport.
The shutdown comes after talks between airline officials and the federal government over a $500 million rescue deal fell through. Spirit saying soaring fuel prices left us with no alternative but to pursue an orderly wind down of the company. The airline now enters into a liquidation process. Partial refunds from its reserve funds are expected to take days. It's advising customers could expect refunds, but there would be no help booking travel on other airlines. The Department of Transportation says some of the carriers will temporarily cap ticket prices for stranded Spirit passengers. Adding travelers could check with their credit card company or travel insurance policy about refunds. Meanwhile, the airline's scrambling to get its more than 1,300 crew members back home, with hundreds more employees jobless.
It was somewhat kind of unreal, and I really haven't processed it all yet.
The Association of Flight Attendants urging.
And them fucking people on that goddamn airline was rude as all hell. I mean, shit. I mean, you know, it served its purpose, but it wasn't my go-to to travel unless it was somewhere quick. You know what I'm saying? I never had any problems on there with any people, but we did have a problem with some of the flight attendants before because, you know, depending on the carry-on, it's confusing at different airports. Some have, I mean, they're the same policies, but they vary based on what they allow you to do with the carry-on. So I was with this, I was dealing with this chick at the time, man. And one of the ladies said something smart to me. So the chick I was with, she cussed the lady out. She cussed her out. And then they kicked us off the fucking plane. So I had to get a plane all the way to Chicago just to rent a car just to come back here, which was crazy, man. So it was wild. But, you know, this place is going down, man. The morale in Babylon is through. It's cooked. Okay.
The government to step in and help those who have been laid off. And in the final moments, a voice on the ground summing it all up.
End of an era right there.
Shalom. I would like to give
all right, so anyway, let's go here. A couple precepts. Not going to be a long lesson. This is the book of Isaiah 19. And I'm going to start at verses, let's go down to verses 14. It says, "For the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and hath caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggering in his vomit." You see? So all the work in Egypt, all our jobs, eventually we finna lose them. Look at the mass unemployment rate. Look at the layoffs. I think there was like 300-some thousand Jake women that was laid off last year in county. So they getting ready to cut this thing all around. They talking about AI cutting up to fucking 90% of the jobs. They say starting next year, we could see dramatic cuts to AI. Robots, so automation, the robot gonna literally be flipping your burger for you, man. Putting seasoning on it, putting mayo on your goddamn on your goddamn hamburger. These are the times we coming in, man. And Jake think things is sweet. No. Look at these Amazon warehouses. They're trying to, why you think we had that dock strike maybe 2 years ago? Because they was trying to automate everything. And them dock workers like, well, then we gonna go on a strike. Because if we don't, then they're gonna take our jobs anyway. But eventually, in order for you to have a job or to have some type of work or credit, you're going to have to get the mark of the beast. That's what it's all about. And it says, "Neither should there be any work for Egypt that the head or tail or branch or rush may do. And in that day should Egypt be like unto women, and it should be afraid and fear, because the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it." Okay? So eventually, ain't going to be no Amazon. Ain't going to be no working at Walmart. Ain't going to be no working at Target. Ain't gonna be no state jobs, no federal jobs. And the only jobs that's gonna be around is those of top level, military, maybe police, firefighters, paramedics. You're gonna have those jobs and stuff like that. But even then, those industries are taking a hit too. This is why people is going elsewhere and starting their own businesses. And even then, starting your own business is pretty tough, man, because I'm looking to start some lawn care and some snow removal for the wintertime, and I was looking at some equipment, which is fairly cheap. But even then, getting a truck, hauling it, and all the other stuff, it costs money to invest these things, man. And if you're going to invest in a business, you got to make sure that you're going to have it for the long run, because let's say if I bought a $3,000-$4,000 more, I got to utilize that to make me more money. So I got to get that return back. So that means I got to get contracts and all this other stuff in order to get my revenue back, because if not, I'll just spend $4,000 on a more and I ain't doing nothing with it. And I have to sell it, which I probably won't make as much. You see? So people they're through. And it says, "In the land of Judah should be a terror unto Egypt, and everyone that make it mention there should be afraid in himself, because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he determined against it." So yeah, man, it's mass layoffs. 26. See what it says. Layoffs are skyrocketing in 2026. AI replacing jobs. And a lot of you females are feeling the squeeze, because a lot of you women are cutting you first, which proves that you're never independent. All you independent women out there. I'm independent, yeah, but they laying your black ass off. And it's just going to get worse. All right, let's look at this. Fair use.
So yesterday I was laid off again. I made this exact video 3 months ago.
Every employee is replaceable, regardless of how much value you provide to your company or how important you think you are.
This is me finding out I'm laid off via email. Yeah, that's what I woke up to today. I'm honestly...
That's what you get, you stupid hoe. Thinking that your job is better than having a man. No, you women are getting ready to find out the hard way. This is what makes me sick about you damn women, because you really believe your job. You put all this subservient aptitude into these fucking jobs just for them to cut your dumb ass. And then when they cut you, somebody got to come to your rescue. Nah. Your whole livelihood, your whole existence is to serve a man, to have and bear his seed, and to serve him. And we coming back into them times, man. Those of you that don't want to get with it, hey, find yourself left on the outside of the door. Okay, we not playing games with you fucking females now, man. You women are getting ready to catch it. Wait till the system falls. I can't wait.
still in shock. Gonna process it, take some time. So if I'm not doing my usual stuff, that's why.
Welcome back to Edwards Economics. My name's Kaylin, and the layoff story most Americans are reading in 2026 is just wrong, which is exactly why people keep getting blindsided. What's happening in 2026 is a completely different animal. Rolling small batch cuts every Friday, funded by share buybacks and AI CapEx reallocation, targeting the middle of the org chart while leaving entry-level and executive roles relatively intact. So the question is, if 60% of Fortune 500 companies are reporting hiring slowdowns right now, why is the unemployment rate not reflecting it yet? And what does that actually mean for your job in the future? Let's find out.
This is me finding out I'm laid off via email. Yeah, that's what I woke up to today. I'm honestly still in shock. Gonna process it, take some time. So if I'm not doing my usual stuff, that's why. But this is the fourth time in 2 years that this has happened. And there's only so much people can actually take.
Can you guys imagine just the displacement of thinking that you landed something that is going to last long term? You've adjusted your entire life and schedule. You've reskilled. You've learned everything that they expect from you in these new roles. And every 6 months, you have to redo that. Every 6 months, you start from zero. The thing that, I want to say it scares me, but concerns me the most is I think that this is going to be more common with most people, especially with AI and just this job displacement. I think people are going to need to learn to be more nimble and to expect this. Like, you're almost like a contractor, you know, like they have no loyalty to you. Crazy.
And the worst part is I was told I was going to be okay. Surprise, I'm not. So yeah, I have to sort some things out. And when is this madness honestly going to stop? And I know it's not personal, but companies need to remember that employees are people. We're human beings.
The company is comprised of people, but the company itself is an entity that only cares about its profits. It only cares about its shareholders increasing value. And if you are in the way of that value being increased, you will be steamrolled.
Okay, I'm sorry, but AI isn't replacing you because it's better at your job or can even do your job. And I think that when you hear about AI layoffs, then
I don't agree with anything she just said. That's like either peak delusion or coke. The fact of the matter is a lot of people had silly jobs. And it's always been that way. I genuinely think that a lot of y'all have been around, y'all have spoken to people. Oh, what do you do for work? And they tell you, you're just like, okay, but like, what do you do? And they tell you, and then, but like, what do you do? And then you like look on TikTok or Instagram or anywhere and you see what they do. And really, they just go get coffee and bring it to the office. And then there's lunch. And then like, they're just kind of playing around.
narrative sounds like it's all about innovation. Companies are just so smart and advanced that they don't need humans anymore. Robots are supposedly doing the work better and faster, and if you got laid off, it's because you've been replaced by some superior computer that doesn't need health benefits. AI expert and creator Nate B. Jones broke this down in a video he posted after Amazon laid off 30,000 people in the fall. And the way he explained it is so clear and completely flipped the narrative for me. So it's not about robots replacing you. It's about this thing called GPU chips. And the cost of those chips is hitting companies' capital expenditure budgets hard. So they need to find other ways to reduce fixed costs, and cutting people is the easiest way to do that.
A lot of companies don't need to reduce their CapEx because they're already extremely profitable. They just want to be more profitable.
So yesterday I was laid off again. I made this exact video 3 months ago.
Wow.
And I got this new job within a month. I started the week of New Year's, and you can look at this playlist and see I had gut feelings and hesitations the whole time. It was a startup company, and I was afraid to work for a startup company again because this is what happens. They made some bad decisions that had nothing to do with me or my role, and therefore they immediately had to.
Yeah, these people catching holy hell, man. Okay. Give right quick preset real quick. This is the book of 2 Ezra 16. And I'm going to start at verses 41. It says, he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away. And he that buys one that will lose. So in the time of economic downturn, you got major investors and stockbrokers and people investing in this particular infrastructure in order to keep their livelihoods. But just say if you buy two properties, and then you may have a collapse or a bubble burst, and then that's a waste of money. Just like you never had it. You know, look up the Fortune 500 companies, man. You know, people invest in real estate. And then when the market collapsed back in 2008, people lost a lot of money. You got people that's still trying to recover from that. They just been kicking the can down the road. It says, and he that occupy merchandise is he that have no profit by it. He that builded as he that should not dwell therein, and he that soweth as if he should not reap. Also he that planted vineyard as he that should not gather the grapes thereof. Gather the grapes. And they that marry as they that should get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. And therefore they that labor in vain. So it's all vanity at the end of the day. But anyway, Salaki, I got to cut this lesson short. Giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Lord, will you edify? Until the next lesson. Shalom.